Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm Benita Owobi, and welcome to Nation Scoops. Tonight, we have a lot of issues to talk about. And the best way we could do this is to have Nollywood actor and political activist Joseph Okechukwu to talk to us through his journey, to tell us what is happening in his life in terms of his transition from being an actor into following US politics. It's been a while now I have been observing him, and I felt connected. I just realized that there is something that he's telling the world, but no one pay attention. So that's why today, I just wanted to hear it for yourself. The topic for tonight is Africans for Trump. Many of you were very upset earlier today. You sent us many messages. Why Africans for Trump? It doesn't make sense. The next topic is the US election. Again, many of you say, why are Africans so interested in US politics? And what does Trump got to do with Africa? And the third topic we're going to address as well tonight. For the past week now in Nigeria, there's been protest, NSAS. As we speak right now, NSAS has gone global. The police brutality in Nigeria has gone way beyond, and the people, citizens of Nigeria, decided to take to the streets and protest and tell their government, you've got to do something about it. Many people say people have tried before. There have been demonstrations in the past. What's happening today doesn't really make much sense. And a lot of you have given up already. You've given up on your future, on your nation. And tonight, as we go into these issues, I just want you guys to welcome Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hey, good to see you and good to be here.
Awesome. It's good to have you tonight. And as we've discussed a little bit earlier, I came across your videos on social media. I was just shocked. I was not confused because I still have a bit of common sense and I understand why people do what they do sometimes. And when I came across your videos, you were very enthusiastic. You had a lot of energy. And I was like, that passion, I want to know, where is that coming from?
Well, the passion you see from my videos are real. They are real. They are natural. And when you see me exuding with so much passion and power when I speak, it is because I believe in the things that I'm saying. It's because I believe in speaking the truth. I don't care whose ox is gored. And that's the way I have actually decided to structure myself. You know, every human being has got a right to build themselves up into what they want to be. And I built myself up to become a truther, a guy who speaks the truth, no matter what. And because I also do a lot of research, I don't just come out there and talk because I want to have followership or because I'm so bored and I need someone to listen to me. No, I don't do that. What I do is I research every single thing that I say to the people. And even while I'm speaking, most often than not, you must have noticed that I always tell people, check it out, look it up, go Google it, and all those things. It's because I have already done my homework. And so that's why I have the kind of passion that I have. It is the truth in me that actually induce me with that kind of passion that you see all the time in my videos, if that answers your question.
But Joe, do you know that a lot of people think that you're on the wrong path, that you are following the wrong crowd, and you are out of your mind? This love that you have for Trump, I have to give it to you. I mean, like, this is just amazing. I mean, Trump, the whole world as we speak right now is praying, is trying left, right, and center to remove him from the office. Political parties are fighting. They're doing everything that they can for that man to be out of the White House. But you have taken a different approach. You said, no, Donald J. Trump is going to be reelected and he will still be America's president. This confidence that you have, where is this coming from?
It's coming from God. I mean, you know, I have this cliche, this common saying that common sense isn't always very common, right? I always ask people one question. Why don't you just do your own personal research, or maybe just use your own common sense if it isn't common for you? Okay, you just made a very important statement and you said the whole world, almost everybody wants Donald Trump out of office. And now look at the people who want Donald Trump out of office. These are the same people who could care less about what is going on in my continent while we are dying. And so when I tell you to use your common sense, I'm saying be a little objective, learn how to connect dots, learn how to put two and two together so you can actually get the actual expected sum. That's what I am saying. If our brains are in our skulls for the thinking, why are we using it only for watching videos? Use it for thinking. Scientists say we have not used even up to 10 to 15% of our brain capacity. What are you doing with your brain? For instance, you have CNN that is dedicated to removing Donald Trump from office. CNN was responsible for the ouster of President Jonathan of Nigeria, who was actually trying to better the country. Under whose regime, Nigeria became the third fastest economy in the world. But when the colonial news network called CNN actually learned that Jonathan has become a persona non grata to the colonial powers, they immediately relocated to Nigeria and began to actually destroy this guy. And when they had succeeded in destroying the guy and imposing the evil that we have in the seat of power today, which is why you have the protests going on now today in Nigeria. When they succeeded, they took off and disappeared. And then Boko Haram now became like they are the ones ruling Nigeria. Killing of Christians became the worst, to the point that Nigeria became one of the first, the 4 or 5 most dangerous places on earth. In fact, not one of the 4. Nigeria has been adjudged to become the most dangerous place to become a Christian. A nation where I can tell you for sure, without any fear of contradiction, that the population of Christians in Nigeria is way more than the population of Muslims. There's no two ways about it. Forget about the nonsensical population rubbish census they are doing in Nigeria. Christians are more in Nigeria, but Nigeria is practically a Muslim nation as we speak today. That's why you see the protests going on, because they had already taken over the whole predominantly Christian regions in the north. They had already come to the north central. They have finished Benue. They've dealt with Plateau State, Jos. They've messed up all these people. And as they are killing the Christians, they are taking over the locations and renaming them with Islamic names. This was going on. They were bringing it down to the east and then to the southwest. And now Nigerians have said, you know what, we've had enough of it. And that's why we are having this problem. So the whole world is fighting against Donald Trump. And my question to people always is this: You will never see Joseph Okechukwu fight over something that he doesn't have an information on. Donald Trump is the only world leader today. And every time I ask you to please use your common sense, kindly do me a favor and use your sense. Donald Trump is the only world leader who stood up on the world stage when Buhari visited America. Go and make your investigations and confirm if I'm lying. Do you know that the aides who traveled with Buhari went and told Donald Trump when they heard that he was about to make a public statement against the killing of Christians? They went and told him, Mr. Trump, could you please not do this? Could you just spare us that this will be a bad press for the president of Nigeria? Donald Trump did not listen to them. He came out in front of the whole world and told Buhari, you've got to stop killing Christians. Nigeria must stop killing Christians or we will do something about it. Nobody else has at this time had done anything about it. The British powers that actually worked with Obama and Clinton and Kerry to impose Buhari on Nigeria were silent completely about the killings. CNN, silent about the killings. BBC, nowhere to be found. Mainstream media, nowhere to be found. When the highest and greatest massacre of Christians, in fact, a genocide of Christians, is ongoing in Nigeria since Buhari came into office till this day. Nobody is talking about it. Systematic elimination of Christianity from Nigerian space. And nobody is talking. And we have a president who spoke about it. And for people who thought that I was just making it up, just some weeks ago, or months ago, Buhari granted an exclusive interview. It's still there online on Vanguard. You know what Buhari said? Himself admitted that he was sitting with Donald Trump, looking him straight in the eyes. Donald Trump asked him, why are you killing Christians in Nigeria? Everybody saw that news. It's still out there today.
Yeah.
Nobody else has done this. Why are they asking me not to support Trump when this man is the one that is protecting my interest? What is life all about? When you go to get married to somebody, you get married to someone who is compatible with you. You don't go and get married to an incompatible fellow. Everybody gets married to someone that they are compatible with. Donald Trump's policies, they are 100% compatible with my own belief system as a Christian, also as an African. I don't know if I'm taking too much of your time, but when we get to that point, I'm going to give you a list of all the things this man has done for Africa. How that he put Nigeria on special watch list. How that he signed an executive order to protect Christians and all the people who are being persecuted for the sake of their religion in Nigeria. And this executive order is supposed to take effect by December of this year. And they want to kick him out of office so that Biden will come back and reinstate all the satanic policies that Buhari is using to destroy us. All these protests you see going on in Nigeria, if there is no superpower that gives it a backing, it will collapse very soon. Why we need Trump to be back in office is because if he comes back, he will support us to have our freedom, for Nigeria to be restructured, for Nigeria to have a new constitution that gives power to the regions. We don't have power. We are like slaves in our own countries, in Nigeria. And this hopeless thing sitting in Abuja is over there squandering the money, selling Nigeria to China, destroying everything. And people are telling me not to campaign for Trump. Our people really have to go and have their brains reset.
Joe, I understand your heart, your outcry. I'm not surprised. And there is something you mentioned when you were speaking. You talked about the killings in Plateau State. I work with a charity called the Platform Foundation. They're based in Plateau State. And some of the people that we have helped to do some project, their villages were ransacked by these bandits, and some of them had to flee for their lives. So I kind of understand why you are describing that Trump has got Africa's interests at heart because of the things that you've mentioned that he's planning to do for Africa, for Nigeria, and he's going to protect your country from decadence. And as you mentioned also, NSAS, it's an outcry. I like what you just said. I just want you to go back to that point when you said that there are more Christians than Muslims in Nigeria, but Nigeria is Muslim.
Let me elaborate more on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You see, All this while they started messing up Nigeria. The reason why you have NSAS today is because we want Nigeria to be restructured and we want to give power to the regions. But also, we want the real census to come. If you ask anybody who knows about history of Nigeria, about what gives the power over all the other ethnic groups in Nigeria to the Fulani, it's because of the manipulation of the real census figures in Nigeria. If you take that away from them, they will not be able to have any power again. It is one of the open secrets in Nigeria. There are more Christians in Nigeria than Muslims, way more. Nobody can dispute that. But today, in paper, Nigeria is known globally as the Islamic Republic of Nigeria. Many people don't know this, but this is the real name of Nigeria. A lot of you don't know that. Islamic Republic. That's why Sharia law is already in effect in Nigeria. How can you have Sharia law in a nation where you lied to your teeth and told us that we are living in a secular nation, but then you have Sharia law? Sharia law is an Islamic law. Why is it operational in Nigeria and we don't have Christian law? Why? Ask yourself why. These people are very demonic. And that's what they did. We have more. They are on a mission to Islamize the entire country because they are looking at Turkey. They feel that, oh, what Turkey did back in the days, we can actually still do it again. So that's why they are fighting, making sure that they want to get everybody. They started by killing Buhari. First of all, I want everybody to listen very carefully. And everything you hear me say, please go and investigate. I get very upset when people cannot think. You are seeing the facts in front of you and you are still arguing with the facts. Who are you? The facts are there. Buhari decided to open the borders of Nigeria and tell everybody, all his brothers from Niger and Chad, everybody can come inside Nigeria. Why did he do that? A president is in power. Boko Haram members who are chopping off hands and cutting off heads and doing all kinds of atrocities, cutting open pregnant women and taking their babies and smashing their heads on the stone and killing them. This man will go and get these people in 300s, in 600s, in 200s and tell us that they are now repentant Boko Haram and reintegrate them into our system. Reintegrate them into the system. In fact, they're even told that they could become presidents of Nigeria because they feel you are too stupid to know the truth. That's why they're doing that. They use census to confuse you that Nigeria is an Islamic nation. They look at all the laws in Nigeria today. They are all skewed towards the Islam to the point that you have a Chief Justice of Nigeria that was a Sharia chief judge. A Sharia judge became the Chief Judge of Nigeria, CJN, a Sharia court judge. That's how bad these things have gotten. And our people are not thinking. Let me tell you what happened. In Southern Kaduna, there's a place called Adara community in Southern Kaduna. So, you know, I'm very, very much involved in most of all this campaign, but I don't talk about it openly. When these people were being killed and wiped off in Adara community, we pressed all our bodies that we have, because I have a little connection with the Trump campaign, and I don't want to talk about that. So we thought and did all the things we had to do. And by the special grace of God, some of our brothers and sisters on ground were able to go and counter the lies of the Nigerian government on the international scene. And unfortunately, they were using a man who claimed to be a pastor. Oshimbanjo, the vice president, was being used to lie to the world just for politics' sake, telling them that what is happening in Nigeria is just little skirmishes between farmers and herders. And they kept on sustaining that lie, sustaining the lie. And meanwhile, our people were being wiped off in Southern Kaduna. And meanwhile, Agatu in Benue was being wiped off. And meanwhile, Plateau State, they were killed. They will enter inside a church and massacre choristers and put on their garment and scorn at them, dancing with their garments, putting shame on the God they worship. And you tell me that these dogs deserve to live. You know, so when they did all of that, We pressed our buttons, and by the special grace of God, the US government said, you know what, Mr. Vice President, we are no longer going to take your own side of the story. For the first time now, we're going to hear directly from the victims. Heritage Foundation extended invitation over to them, and those victims came. Even the girl that they just finished killing the father, a chief, simply because he refused to convert to Islam. All the chiefs who converted to Islam, they renamed their chiefdom and turned it into emirates. If you refuse, they kill you and put your dead body on the street. This has been going on for years in Nigeria. Communities are wiped off. Those ones who escaped became refugees in their own land. The invading Fulani herdsmen come over and they take over their farmland, take over their homeland, and rename it after the satanic thing that they worship. And then the people who own the land are refugees. The US government said, no, we want to hear from them. And they were brought to the United States of America. When they came to America and they gave their confessions, what happened? America immediately approved to put Nigeria on US special watch list. Now, when you put a nation on America's special watch list, you know what that means? It means that every single move you make, you are watched. Every move you make, you are watched. Guess what? Immediately after putting them on the watch list, Donald Trump wanted United Nations to intervene, set up a military unit that is going to be responsible for protecting Christians who are being massacred, even other religions that are being persecuted for the sake of the religion. United Nations refused to do it. What did Trump do? Go, if you check some of my videos, I put it there. Donald Trump on his own created an international coalition against religious persecution. He brought together about 17 countries, including even UK, which sluggishly and reluctantly joined. And then most of the countries were from Eastern Europe, and they pledged to produce soldiers who will become a part of this team, so that when Donald Trump eventually signs his executive order, the money he will allot to that executive order will be used by this team to protect Christians all over the world. And guess what? After creating it, United Nations now officially recognize Fulani herdsmen as terrorists. People who are recognized already by the International Terrorism Index as the fourth most dangerous terror group on earth. What happened after Trump created the coalition? Trump then went further to sign an executive order because of Christians in Africa. Executive order to protect people who are being persecuted. And he allotted $50 million, which is now going to enable this coalition to function. And their work is going to be done through US aid. And they are starting officially by December of 2020. Name one other nation's president or prime minister anywhere in the world who has done that. And the question I keep asking people every day, did he have to do this? Why would he have to the point that the executive order states that even the religious location, religious places like churches, worship centers must be protected by the group, by the team. They have to put them on the map and protect them. That once there is any problem, you call and there will be a response immediately. Donald Trump of America. And you're telling me to go and vote for Biden, who is in the camp of the people that destroyed Libya and destroyed Nigeria. The reason you have protests today is because of Obama and the Clinton and Kerry and Biden. You are sick if you don't know what the truth is. I'm not apologetic to anybody. I don't care. People were telling me, Joe, how are you going to handle this matter of you're supporting Trump? Everybody's against you. I say, I wish I would meet all of them physically. Come and meet me physically. Let me see what my God has entered into your brain that you can't think straight. You see your enemy, you run to your enemy. You now see your friend, you are running away from your friend. Apart from even protecting Christianity, look at the values and the laws that Joe Biden upholds today. You are a Christian, a bloody Christian you think you are, and you don't know that abortion, up to the point of partial birth abortion, is a crime against humanity. You don't know that legalizing gay marriage is a crime against your own religion. You don't know that all these things that Democrats are promoting, that Christianity is against it. And when you ask them, they say, oh, after all, who knows what is right? Who knows? Do you even know? All of us are sinners and all of that. That is a shame to anybody who claims to be Christian and is still doing this rubbish. It is just a sign that our world is coming to an end. That's why I don't want to kill myself sometimes. When I see all these things, it irritates me so much, like my brain is on fire. But then I just say, you know what? There's no need, because the world is already coming to an end. The Bible said there will be a great falling away, and the falling away has started. If not, you will not have people who claim to be Christians sitting down telling you, oh, it's because of the thing that he says with his mouth. Okay, you are wondering, you are angry with Trump over what he says, but you don't care about the people who actually do something. What he says. But look at the ones who are doing stuff. Telling you how that is going to make sure Islam goes mainstream in America. They are going to make Islam mainstream in America. America, that is a Christian nation. Joe Biden says he will make, I don't hate Muslims. I have a lot of them as friends. But if America is a Christian nation, why not leave it as a Christian nation? You can't go to Saudi Arabia and turn it into a Christian, or try to neutralize it and make it a secular nation. But this is what Joe Biden is promising. And Christians are cheering him on, wanting to go and vote him. But take it from me today, in case you haven't heard it. This is what I told them in 2016. Donald Trump is going to be returned. And when he comes back, all those child molesters, all those child traffickers who are killing children and drinking their blood, using the adrenochrome to renew their age, all of them are going to either die or they go to jail. That's why God is bringing Donald Trump back. Whether you like it or not, you better get ready to go and cry on that day, because he's going to win. He will come back. And the Americans are more than able, ready to defend their liberty. They will not let Joe Biden come and take America and smash it and give it over to China. It won't happen. Imagine an America controlled by China. We are not finished then. Yes, you won't have freedom in Nigeria. You won't have freedom anywhere in Africa. Our people are not thinking. Too much
I hear you. I hear you, Joe. I hear you, Joe. I hear your heart. It's crystal clear that you're not joking here. You're not joking. For those who have just joined us, this is Benita, and I am with Joseph Okechukwu. We're talking about what's going to happen on the 3rd of November in America. Donald Trump is the most fought president that you can ever imagine. In my lifetime, I have never seen a president who is fact-checked every day. Personally, I've never seen this. And for me, that raises eyebrows. Joe, you said something that really touched me. You said there that we haven't got a Christian organization or a Christian party that can create laws in Nigeria. So how about CAN? Is that not what CAN is supposed to do? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think I lost you for a minute.
Okay. I said in Nigeria, there is a body called CAN. They're the ones who regulate churches, and when there is an issue, they have to call them. Are they not the ones who are supposed to take the lead in terms of Christian issues, or what is their role then?
The thing is, you have to understand that can is another way of pronouncing can is just say cannot. That's their real name. They can't, they cannot. Yeah, can, can't, can anything. You know why? Because all these bodies have been politicized, all of them. The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, heavily politicized. The Christian Association of Nigeria, can, heavily politicized. They love photo ops with Buhari in Abuja. They love politics so much. And I don't even know why they are called the Christian Association of Nigeria. And that's why they are not able to do anything. Imagine when the whole Christian killing was going on so heavily before Trump began to step in. Imagine we came into 2018, I guess, either 2018 or so. First day, January 1, there was almost 50-something people killed, or 60-something killed in Benue. That was trending all over the place. I mean, Christians were being massacred, still being massacred on daily basis. And all they could do in terms of protest was, they told people, when you go to church today, just write something on a placard and stand in front of your church and hold it up like this. That was all that CAN could do for us. Nothing more than that. Can is politicized, and they are part of the satanic infiltration of the church that has happened in this end time. That is why COVID-19 was coming. The so-called mega prophets, who are 99% fraudsters, almost all of them, fraudsters everywhere. I don't like talking about those ones. Many of them hopeless, and they couldn't see COVID-19. You go to church today, all that we hear about is prosperity, is about seeing this one. Oh, the color of your pant is green. You wanted to wear a yellow pant in the morning, and then you wore green one. And that's what you're wearing now. You were born on exactly 2 p.m. on January 47th. All this rubbish, they take people away from the real Christianity. That's how I knew that we are living in the end times. This is what has messed up Christianity today. They came up with this grace teaching, all kinds of funny theories in grace, that once you are born again, you are born again for life. I met a young woman who was dating a baron, somebody who was a drug trafficker. And I told her, how can you be doing this? This man is destroying lives. And she said, oh, my pastor told me that it was okay to date this guy. He simply asked me, does he go to church? And I told him yes. And he said, as long as he goes to church and loves God, then he's okay. That was it. Just once you accept Christ, just believe in Christ. That's all you are born again. And no matter what you do, I could sleep with 1 million women if I wanted to. I could do anything if I wanted to. And I would still be fine. I would still go to heaven. That was the satanic evil teaching that went into the church. And that's what produced the crop of Christians we have today, who cannot think deeply anymore. Any little thing you throw at them, they take it. Look at the Muslims. They are so organized. They know where to focus. They know who is protecting their interest, and they go with the person. Christians don't have anybody. They don't care. If not, we all will be filing behind Donald Trump today. But why do I have to even scream and talk like this and get angry? Because Christians are at the forefront of the people trying to bring down Donald Trump. The person that if he comes down today, Christianity is wiped off in our world. They're not thinking about it because Christianity has been watered down in their hearts already. So why would they bother about Christianity? It doesn't matter. So that was the plan of the devil. He did a good job. He started with the churches. When I did a video about the satanic 10 commandments, if you go to my YouTube page, Joseph Okechukwu, look for that video, Satanic 10 Commandments by Alice Bailey, right? Alice Bailey produced this satanic 10 commandments. And one of the last points, I think it's the 10th point on the 10 commandments, is when they have created all these satanic evil ideologies and philosophies into the world, they should get the church to endorse it, because they know that the church is the last arbiter. Once it goes to the church and it's endorsed, people take it as law, as a moral law. So the church is endorsing and approving immorality and satanic practices every day. That's why the people no longer feel there's any need for them to actually up their morality. They don't have any need for that. So they can actually stand against anything that has to do with Christ. That's why you're going to have so many Christians who are going to be fighting against the coming of Christ, fighting against Christ himself. And they've started already. This is what happened to our people. That's why cannot do anything. PFN cannot do anything. It has to be the warriors that God has created for this end time. Those are the ones who are going to be the defenders of Christianity. And that's why many of us are standing by Trump. I don't care. Do I look like I care? Anybody who wants to throw snakes, let them bring it. I will. You can't bully me. I say this all the time. Nobody can bully me. That's why I've stood my ground. I did it in 2016. Everybody was telling me, oh, you are this. Some people unfriended me on Facebook, called me all manner of names. Oh, you're sick, you're this, you're that. I asked them, what is your problem with Trump? The only thing you hear from them, oh, look at the things he says. He called women this, he called that, he did that. He said, I'm shithole. All the things he said, but then you show them what the other people have done. Not said, but what they did. They don't want to hear it. But you are more concerned about what somebody said. You're talking about immigration and all kinds of nonsense. Is that more important than your people back home in Africa who are going to be wiped off in 1 minute? If these people come back to power, they don't care. It's not their business. That's why we need to stand there and fight. That's why you see there's a very angry spirit in me, a very serious angry spirit in me that gets out to talk. And sometimes I thank God that that spirit often wakes people up, because most of these people are so stone cold dead that if you don't yell so hard at them, they may never be able to wake up. And that's why this is happening.
Joe, you have just said a lot. And for those who are just watching now, just share this broadcast, because it's a very important message that people need to hear tonight. Not only we're talking about Christianity, because we are Christians, and you also have to understand that we are fighting a battle here. When you are a Christian, you have to understand that we are fighting two kingdoms. There's a kingdom of darkness and kingdom of light. So you need to choose on which side you are. It's got nothing to do with being on Trump's side. It's got to do with the future of your country. I find it really interesting that you have started this movement called Africans for Trump. So many people are still confused. I can see on the comments, and somebody said earlier as well. What is Africans for Trump? Is it a movement? Is it an organization that is in America? Or what is Africans for Trump, and how can we be part? What is your mandate? For those who don't understand, what does Africans for Trump means?
Okay, so here is what you need to know about Africans for Trump. Africans for Trump story started way back in 2016, right? So it was my first ever involvement in American politics, 2016. I walked into my home, my living room, and I saw this man on TV, Donald J. Trump. I've heard about him a few times on, Apprentice and all those things. And I just saw him, he was running for president. And I'm like, what? I didn't care, because I've never, ever followed American politics, ever. So I looked at him and I heard a voice. And if you look around a lot of videos from so many men of God, you would have heard that many of them say that something spoke to them. I heard a voice saying, stop, follow him, support this man. I heard it very loud and clear, support him. And I didn't know why. All of a sudden, something shifted in me, and I just began to fight for Trump. This was 2015, 2016. And I have never stopped till today. So what I did was, at that time, I obeyed the voice, even though God eventually much later explained to me why, and I've started seeing all the reasons, which is what I've been spending the time to enumerate here. Now, I began to call all my friends who were on the Democrat side and began to talk to them about this man, began to tell them some of the things that he stands for. And keep in mind that at this time, we have not really given him a try yet to know whether he was going to do it or not. Everything I was doing was based on faith and based on the things I've heard him say. So we're just taking him by his own words. That was the basis on which I was reaching out to people and begging them to please cast their votes for this man. And I was able to win a lot of people. And so now fast forward to several years, about 2, 3, 4 years down the line, we now see what Donald Trump has done for Africa. In America, African-American unemployment has dropped to an all-time low, historic all-time low. The highest funding that historic Black universities and colleges has ever received in life was given to them by Donald Trump. Historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, which is now where many people have gone to college in America, many Black people. Not only that, there's one story I always want to talk about every day. Liberians, if you're African, you know a place called Liberia. Liberians are our own. We have about 4,000 Liberians stuck in America for years, looking for a path to citizenship and permanent residency. When Obama came to power, they rejoiced and screamed, oh, finally, Savior has come. They were sure that within the first year in office, Obama was going to give them a path to citizenship. After all, he's a Black man, right? Obama finished his first term in office. Liberians are still there with the same status. Obama came and finished second term in office. Our Liberian brothers and sisters were still there in America with the same status. Donald Trump shows up into power less than 4 years less than 4 years, a white man, the same one who they told you hates you, the same one that called you shithole, the one that you don't want to ever hear his name. He was the one who signed. It's on our page. Go to africansfortrump2020.org and click on White Trump. Scroll down, you will see the report. All the news media reported it. Trump signed it. And today, those Liberians are on their way to citizenship in America. The same Donald Trump. And so that was how Africans for Trump 2020 was born. I look at what Trump has done in Cameroon, when they now decided to take away the aid that America used to give to Cameroon because of how they were killing Christians in Ambazonia. The man said, not again. We are not going to watch you kill all these people and still be giving you money. We will not do that. If it was Obama and Clinton, the only reason they want to remove aid from African countries is if you don't want to legalize gay marriage. Clinton said it in her campaign speech. Biden is upholding the same thing. That's one thing that makes them remove aid, financial aid from African countries. When you refuse to legalize gay marriage and approve all these wicked abortion things. But Trump is removing money because you are killing your own people. He did it to Cameroon, and that money has not been restored till today. And that's when Cameroon began to subpedal on the massacre that has been going on, even though it's still going on till today, and they're going to take more action about that. We know that because I'm speaking from a place of authority. What happened in South Sudan? South Sudan broke away from the other Sudan, and they were killing themselves like chickens, more than they were even killing themselves when they were in the larger Sudan. America came and said, listen, we have identified people who are behind this. You have to stop it now or we will do something. They refused. They gave them almost 1 year. They refused. America identified those guys, slammed them with visa ban, gave them sanctions, everything. Within 2 months, they came together and said, even though we have not come into agreement, we are ready to sign a peace deal. That's how South Sudan stopped killing themselves today. And a peace deal came into effect by February of last year, I think. Immediately, without them even agreeing on terms, America imposed it on them. The same America that doesn't need much. What do they need from Africa? If you talk about people who are stealing from Africa, it is Europeans. Why does this man care so much about Christians? This was what got me to form Africans for Trump. And what Africans for Trump 2020 is all about is just a pressure group, a campaign group that will go out there. And it's not only for people who live in America, it is for people who live anywhere in the world. And this is how we function. If you know anybody in the United States of America who has the power and the right to vote, if the person is affiliated to you, if the person is your brother, your sister, or anything, call them. Go to our page. Show them why they have to cast their vote for Trump. The reason is because I did it in 2016, still doing it till today, and I am winning so many hearts over. That's why we created Africans for Trump 2020. We are doing a lot of legwork in the United States of America, in Texas, in Maryland, in DC area, everywhere, knocking on doors, talking to our fellow African people. There are not too many Africans in America. There are many, but not too many like that. Not too many to even affect too much. But I'm saying that if we can have those few people who have the voting right, voting for Donald Trump, any little vote can make a huge difference. That's why we have Africans for Trump 2020, to show the man that we are appreciative of what he has done so far. Things that he didn't even have to do. He didn't even have to do. How many Africans voted for him in 2016? And yet he paid so much attention to us, doing all these things that he's doing. Go to our page, like I said, and you'll see for yourself. We have to actually stand by Trump, not just as Africans, but as Christians, because the man has shown, he's not saying he will, he has actually shown that he actually is ready to fight for our cause.
You said something that amazed me as well. And I also want us to look at this aspect. You said that Christians should also vote for Trump. But do you know that there's a great divide right now in America? The white evangelicals are voting for Trump. It's all online, you can see it. But the Black, the African-American community, they're into Democrats. They will be endorsing people like Kamala Harris. They will say Cardi B, she's leading. They will give you all these top celebrities. But what really knocked me down is when I read that the founder of BET, who was a Democrat, who used to donate as well to the Democratic Party, is now voting for Trump. So it looks like there is like a move then. And then again, yesterday, I just saw a news, Ice Cube has been working with the Trump administration to create jobs. They call it the Platinum Plan, 500 billion US dollars. And they want to create employment for Black people in America. But then what I was saying is, we're talking about Christians. The white evangelicals are pro-Trump. The African American church is pro-Biden. So who is Christian?
Well, let me jump right in. I have to correct an impression. Yes, statutorily, the white evangelicals are pro-Trump and so-called African Americans are for Biden, you know, statutorily. But the media would not want to show you the number of African American churches and preachers and evangelicals who have now switched over to Trump, not just now, a long time ago. Remember one time when they visited Trump in the White House and they started calling them Uncle Tom and all kinds of nasty names, and those guys have never changed their positions till today. They stand with Donald J. Trump. Too many Christians are standing with Trump from the Black community. Too many Blacks. Trump, no American president from Republican Party has ever had this type of Black vote ever in history. We were thinking it was a lot in 2016. It was just a little bit, but now you are going to see that's why you have something, the hashtag called Blexit. Blacks exiting the Democrat Party. There are too many Black people, and that's why the Democrats are already panicking. That's why Joe Biden made that statement he made that was trending before they now brought the whole George Floyd issue. He said, if you are having to figure between me and Trump who to vote, then you ain't Black. Can you imagine that? How can you say that I'm not Black because I am having to decide that I want to vote for Donald Trump? Now, let me go back to what you said about Ice Cube. So the story actually is that Ice Cube approached the two parties. He approached the Democrats and approached Trump. So when he went to Democrat first, the Democrats told him to wait until after the elections. But Donald Trump said, no, bring it on. We want to see what we can do. And they looked at his paper and said, okay, just correct this and correct that and correct that, and then we're in. And the guy said, oh, no problem. He didn't see any problem with that. And so he made all those alterations, and that was it. Trump is putting down an extra $500 billion on the table from another guy to be able to go and give jobs to Black people. And Black people are still thinking that this man hates them. Remember when Kanye West and his wife went over to Trump and they were campaigning for the First Step Act. First Step Act was meant to get Black men who were jailed for minor crimes. And the law that is putting them in jail over these minor crimes were authored by Bill Clinton and Joe Biden. I put this in my video. Anybody who wants to argue should go and do the research. Your internet can help you right now. The law that led to the highest incarceration of Black men in American history was authored by Bill Clinton and supported by Joe Biden. Kamala Harris, his VP today, actually accused him of this while they were debating themselves. And people are still having the effrontery to come and talk trash about this man. I don't know who we have today in the world as human beings. It's like the brains of people have been watered down. Maybe there's a chemtrail or something that is messing people up that they can't think properly. That's why sometimes in my program, I try to educate people on what to eat, how to drink alkaline water, how to stop using fluoride toothpaste and all this nonsense that mess up your pineal gland, because people are not thinking right anymore. People are not reasoning properly anymore. Ice Cube is another one. Trump has already signed the First Step Act, and you can see the fruits of his First Step Act. Many Black people who were languishing in jail, ready to die in prison for very minor crimes, all of them are already beginning to come out because of Trump's First Step Act. A man who hates Black people a man who hates the color of your skin, how can he be doing all of this? Without his signature, none of this would have happened. Obama never thought of reversing the thing to give African Americans a chance, because the Democrats thrive on the suffering and the enslavement of the African American community. That's why they give us welfare. Welfare is a system created by the Democrats that deprives African American families of fatherhood. So if you are a woman, a single mother, and you're having children without a father in the house, just having children out of wedlock, they will give you more money. That's the welfare system that the Democrats impose on our people. They will give you more money. If a man comes into the family, you start getting poor. So that's why you have too many single mothers. I did a full-blown expose on this. Go to my page on YouTube and you see the history. These are the people. It is the Democrats who brought about the KKK. Do you know that the voting rights that black people have in America today were championed by Republicans? Do you know that? Go and check my video. Go and check any video you want to check on your own. If you find any of this false, never listen to me again in life. Democrats created KKK. They founded it, and now they are pinning it on Donald Trump. Satanic set of people, and Christians are standing by them with zero knowledge of who they are. It's unfortunate. But what can I do? I can only speak the truth, whether you like it or not. The truth is always going to be the truth.
It's indeed. I kind of like the fact that, you know, we talked about Ice Cube, who's now working with the Trump administration. And then I read the news again today that now Diddy, you know, Sean Combs, is endorsing Biden, and he's also creating his own black political party. So it looks like there's a fight. Like whenever something positive comes up from the Republican Party, like you talked about Brexit, and then Ice Cube now who is coming along, and then suddenly Didi comes up with something that nobody saw it coming. You said that Trump...
They are panicking.
They're panicking.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is that they are panicking, all right? They are scared because I remember in one of the videos I did recently, I detailed, and it's reported in the news, anybody can go look it up. The Democrats conducted their own war game. War game is a form of predictive programming. Where they do the war game, they are predicting a likely outcome, a possible outcome of the elections. And in that war game, they actually saw that Donald Trump won the elections. But then what happened was that the guy, war game is like a reenactment, like a drama, okay? Now based on what they believe must happen. So the guy who was playing the role of Joe Biden, which is John Podesta of the Spirit Cooking fame, John Podesta actually refused to concede to Donald Trump in that war game. After he found out that he had lost to Donald Trump, that Trump won again by electoral college. They told him not to concede. You know why he said he wouldn't concede? He said he didn't think that his party would allow him to concede. And why are they doing that? Because they are going to use the so-called mail-in ballots, absentee ballots. When Trump has been declared winner, they're going to come up with all kinds of fraudulent mail-in absentee ballots, and you try to use it to topple the election. I've said it before, I'm saying it again. And when that happens, Americans will rise up and say, no, we're not going to allow you steal this election. So they are planning for civil war in America. If you haven't heard me say that before, hear it again right now. They're planning. That's why P. Diddy is doing that. Mind you that Ice Cube was never a Trump supporter. Ice Cube, many people will get to know now. Ice Cube was actually the guy who said that he can't wait to see Donald Trump in handcuffs.
Yeah, I saw the video.
If you said about Trump, you will not believe that this person will have anything to do with Trump. But when he finally came in contact with Donald Trump, his life changed. He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe that this man was more so simple and so easygoing and so caring of the black community. That's why he now got up. You know that he was supposed to have an interview with CNN. But because of the testimony he had to give, they canceled the interview. And what did he say? He said they couldn't handle the truth. This is a never Trumper. Ice Cube was a never Trumper. They know that black. Imagine how many people will listen to the testimony of Ice Cube and rush to the Donald Trump camp. This is what has been happening. God has been fighting for this man. Now look at the next thing again that you're going to pay attention to. Just recently, for you to see that God is fighting for him. Remember the stimulus plan that came out one day, and Trump, after he recovered, he said he doesn't want the stimulus to go through again because Nancy Pelosi was trying to stall it. Finally, Wolf Blitzer, who is a registered Democrat, Wolf Blitzer of CNN, now have Nancy Pelosi on CNN. What happened? Pelosi spent the entire time insulting Wolf Blitzer. Even CNN themselves could not believe it. What was Wolf asking her? He said, why can't you accept President Trump's 1.8 trillion stimulus plan? The 1.8 trillion is too much. It's enough to help American people. Why are you refusing to accept it? Pelosi said that he didn't know what he was talking about. In fact, he began to run down all the people, all the references that Wolf Blitzer has. You know why the stimulus was not passing? Pelosi wants to add extra money into the stimulus so that she will be able to go and take care of Democrat-run states that have been protesting and destroying things, so that she will be able to go and take care of so many stupid things that have nothing to do with COVID-19 relief. That's why Trump said, no, we can't have all those things added. If those governors allow their states to be having riots and they were sponsoring the rioters, they have to find a way to get money to take care of their states. We cannot bail them out when they are the ones who destroy their own states. This is the story that you will never see in the mainstream media. That's what is going on. This man is being fought every day. And I ask people, if you see a man that everybody is fighting against, how can you go and join everybody? How is it possible that everybody is fighting against one man? You should know there is something about this man that they hate, something good about the man. And that's why I've been making all these videos I make every day. Unfortunately, people are not paying attention. But God is still going to be God, and he's going to do what he has to do.
Joe, for those who say, but Trump is a racist, I know we've already talked about this so many times, but what do you got to say to these people? Because it seems like what you're saying is not really what people like or want to hear, or that's not really how people perceive it. Is Trump a racist?
Let me be honest with you. I have addressed this over and over and over and over again. The easier answer to this question is basically going through everything I've said since we started this program. I want you to tell me, how do you look at a man who has done all this to Black people and for Black people and still call him a racist? What then is the definition of racist? What then is the definition of racism? How can Donald J. Trump be a racist if he is caring about people who didn't vote for him, if he's caring about people who don't even give a damn about him? How can he be a racist? That's the question I ask every time. But the real racists are there being promoted. One of the most racist human politicians in American history is Joe Biden. I am not making a sentimental statement. It's not emotional. Go look it up. You see, there's a guy who was a grand wizard of the KKK. His name is Robert Byrd, B-I-R-D. Look it up if you are watching, please. Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd, Joe Biden openly said and admitted that Robert was his mentor. He was the man who encouraged him to join the Senate, who mentored him and remained in the Senate in the Democrat Party until he died sometime in 2010. This was a man who was a grand wizard of the KKK. Joe Biden, who said that his children cannot go to school in the same neighborhood with Black people. Look at all the condescending statements he's ever made all over the place. People don't care. It's not their business. Once that thing goes into them, they can't think anymore. Donald Trump is not a racist. Straight to the point, he is not a racist. If he was a racist, he would not be fighting for Africa. Donald Trump has received in the White House a woman who escaped from Boko Haram in Nigeria, who had never met her local government chairman. He received the woman in the White House. Donald Trump received the two Chibok girls who escaped and came to school in America. His daughter brought and hosted them in the White House. He received them happily and supported their sale into the United States of America. What are you talking about? It's Trump who is also helping the Adara community people from Southern Kaduna, who gave the nod and said they should bring them and get out the fact. How can he be a racist? What is the meaning of racism? We just have to turn everything upside down for the sake of satanic politics. Please, Trump is not a racist. And I have to make bold to tell you this. He is not a racist. If he becomes tomorrow, I will be the first to come out and admit it. But he is not a racist. Nothing to prove it.
Joe, you have such a passion for the motherland, for your country of Nigeria. I really feel and I sense that you're doing this for your people and you've just had enough. That force that is pushing you to react this way is because of the pain that your people are going through back home. Yes. And for people who are still doubting tonight, who are still saying that you are out of your mind, you need to check your Christianity, because we're not looking at somebody who is perfect, because none of us are perfect. Yeah. If you're judging Trump because of him tweeting every minute or responding to a report that was said against him, if this is what makes you angry, then I'm sorry, you need to check yourself. I don't endorse anybody tonight. I'm not here to tell you to go and vote for Trump, but we're here to open your eyes so that you can start thinking critically and not just make statements. African for Trump is nonsense, because I just read somebody said here. I have to establish this tonight. This platform is not a platform where you can just come and talk. We're talking about a nation that has got so much potential for the entire world. We're talking about the US election. That election will have an impact into us, Africans also. Anything that happens in America is going to affect everywhere in the world. If you are a Christian tonight and you're saying that, oh, Trump, you guys are talking that Trump is the savior, is the one who's going to redeem Africa, but he's supporting the LGBTQ. Excuse me, a president have to do what he have to do. A president doesn't need to discriminate people. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about freedom of religion, freedom to express your faith. Do you know, Joe, I wasn't attracted to Trump because of everything that you've said. But there is something on the inside of me that tells me that there's certain things that this man does actually make sense based on the Bible, the scriptures, especially, you know, the persecution of Christians, how you can, you know, use your faith, you know, to be bold. Like we have Amy Barrett now, who is going to be the Supreme Judge. She's a Catholic, okay? So for me, it's a breakthrough. Like we should rejoice to see people of the same faith as you taking a stand in a society that is secular, where we Christians don't always have a say. So why can't we even celebrate that? But I just don't understand, because there's a set of Christians who are actually thinking that we are idolizing Donald Trump and thinking that he's the savior of us, the Christians, but it is way deeper than that. I personally don't like sometimes when Trump tweets too much. It irritates at times. I'm like, oh, Trump, come on, this time you could have skipped that one. So sometimes I just feel like that. But I kind of understand where all these tweets are coming from. Because as we talked about the media has censored you before many times. I've seen you on your Facebook page, that they are reducing your visibility, that they're doing everything in their power to reduce your voice to be heard. So that speaks volumes to me. There was a report that came out that Facebook and Twitter are actually donating, you know, to the Democrat Party. There's a story that came out on Hunter Biden from the New York Post. They refused for us to read it. Yes. I had to go to Fox News to watch Carter to actually debunk this for me, because I couldn't access the article. So I'm like, just think for a second. How can a president be so attacked by the media? I have never seen this in my lifetime. So think about this.
Yeah, so that's the truth. And I have to be honest with you. I am not the kind of person that, oh, everything Trump does is okay. There have been a few times, like you said, the tweeting. I will read something and I'll be like, oh my gosh, Mr. President, just get your hands off those tweets and just stop. I just get like, stop this, But you see, and even beyond the tweeting, there are a couple of other things, maybe his past and all of that, his dealings with women and all of that. I mean, these are frailties, human frailties. A lot of all these that many of us are equally guilty of. And like I always tell people, our God doesn't always look for perfect people. He looks for available people. Once you're qualified and available, he uses you. It's him who chose to use Donald Trump. He decided he was going to use it at such a time as this. And so for people who are saying, oh, how can you say Trump is supporting LGBT? No, you said it rightly. A man who is a leader of the free world, you have to protect the interests of everyone. As passionate as I am as a Christian, if I become a president, I will not allow anybody to hunt an LGBT person. I will make sure that the law in the nation that I lead actually protects the LGBT people. In fact, I will probably give them extra security if I notice that they have been hunted. That's what a good leader is supposed to do. The problem we have with the LGBT thing is when the Democrats are now going to begin to impose it on people, are going to now begin to use it like, radicalize it in such a way that if you don't support it, you are almost declared like a persona non grata. It makes no sense, absolutely. If you want to practice whatever you want to practice it for yourself. If you want to go and love your fellow man, love him. You want to love your fellow woman, love him. That's up to you. My Bible speaks against it. I should have the right to preach against that on the pulpit and not be haunted by anybody. You shouldn't be hounding me because I'm preaching what my Bible says. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. And then if I say I'm not going to legalize this, don't come and threaten me that, oh, you must legalize it before we can give you money. That is so evil, downright evil. And that's when we started having issues with this thing, that they're trying to shove this down our throat. We are not shoving our Christianity down your throat. For instance, look at the situation of what happened in America under Obama. A couple, a family, a Christian couple came out and they said they are running a family business. They are bakers. They bake cakes and all that. And this LGBT couple came and said, we want you to make a cake for us where two men are kissing. And they couldn't stand that. They said, no, we can't do that. Maybe you have to use another person. As simple as that. As Americans, they have the right to reject an offer or take an offer. And now they were charged $100,000 and sent to a mandatory re-education program or something like that under Obama. So you are now using this to terrorize everybody. Meanwhile, you can't go to people and say, hey, because you refuse to pray, say amen when I prayed, you have to go through a mandatory re-education program. Why? If you want to practice anything, practice it. Trump is not there to campaign for anybody to legalize gay marriage. He is only being the president of all. Not only that, when he signed his executive order to protect people who are being persecuted for the sake of their religion, it wasn't actually for Christians alone. It also includes people of other religion, including the Shiites who have gone through so much in Nigeria, including to some Buddhists who have been persecuted in places where they are not needed. Trump says, let everybody have the right to worship whatever they want to worship. But we know as Christians that we are the biggest beneficiaries because we are the most killed in the world. This is what is going on today. What is so difficult for us to understand here? So I think that our people need to wake up. Whatever happens in America, it affects everywhere. It affects Africa directly. Okay, it is America that imposed the regime we have in Nigeria today. And if you want to know about that regime, look out your window, check your internet and see EndSARS protests. It is not in Lagos alone. It is not only in Abuja. It is happening almost simultaneously in all the 36 states or 38 states in Nigeria. The EndSARS protest is going viral and it is taking over like wildfire. Why? Because of the level of discontentment. Because people have died enough. They've been pushed to the wall, beyond the wall. Look at my hometown.
Yeah.
My hometown. I'm an Igbo man, eastern part of Nigeria. These demons, these satanic, dirty, filthy things will be in my hometown, in my villages, and be raping our girls, beautiful girls, and be destroying them in my town. I told Buhari, I said it. I said, not while I am alive will you take over my hometown. Not in this life, not even if I am dead. That they will come and overrun my place and overrun Igbo land and take over, or southern Nigeria. It will not happen. I said it and it is happening right now. All of them are going to answer for all the evil they have done to our people. Look at what is happening. And Christians are busy because of immigration and all kinds of incendiary trivialities. They are busy fighting against the man who has made it possible for us to. Do you remember what happened in Edo State recently? I had a hand in it and I didn't talk about it too much. Only a few people knew this. You see what happened in Edo State? APC was getting ready to go and steal elections. Just one announcement from Donald Trump from America, one announcement of visa ban. They took off and removed their hands from that wickedness. And the right person that the people wanted was the one who got elected. The same Donald Trump, the same Trump. This one is just very recent. You know, everybody saw that one. Obaseki now became, and even Wike, Governor Wike of Rivers State came out and openly admitted, we know why they did not rig the elections. Imagine when you have a man like Trump come back to office, what will happen in Nigeria going forward? Our people are not thinking right again. And rather than get angry, we should be praying for people these days.
2020 is a year of surprises because NSAS, you know that this movement just came out of nowhere. If I have to be frank with you, I wasn't expecting anything like that. I was thinking maybe the protests would die down after 1 or 2 days, but it's been like 10 days now. And it doesn't look like there's a sign of stopping
here. Protest, my sweetheart, is a spiritual protest. It's a very, very spiritual protest. There's no leader. Nobody, you
There's
can't point to anybody that you say this is the person who's the leader. It's
nobody's
like when
taking
the
credit
Lord blows
for
the trumpet and say your time is up. Judgment. That's it. I prophesied it will happen. It's happening now. It's judgment. It's spiritual.
Yes. There is no leader. I saw somebody who's trying to claim ownership of the movement. I think it's Sega Link. If you go and check him out, I saw a poster who is flying right now on social media. He said convener of NSAS. And I'm like, there's no leader. Nobody can claim that they started anything. There's no leader. These protests.
Showore wanted to try. Showore wanted to try to tag into his revolution now. And
revolution now.
They almost beat him up. Nobody can claim leadership. When the time comes, we will know who the leader is, and the leader is the God of heaven. He will destroy this wickedness establishment that they put in Nigeria to kill all of us. 200 million people plus, and you think you can just take us for a ride? It doesn't happen that way. When we serve God, there are still some remnants here. I always tell our people, I say, you know how many times I've heard a 1 month program, prayer program on Facebook? More than 5 to 6 times. 1 month on a stretch, I will come online every blessed night at midnight to pray with people from all over the world, spending more than 1 hour for each program. I've done it more than 4 to 5 times or 6 times even. Praying. I told them when Abraham was negotiating with the angels over Sodom and Gomorrah, he told them, he said, if you find 50 people who are righteous, will you still do it? He said, no. What about 30? What about 20? What about 10? He said, no. I said, why can't we raise an army of more than 20, 50 righteous people and cry unto the Lord? If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray. People don't pray anymore because Christianity has been snatched away from our hands. That's why some of us are doing it today. That's why a bloody film actor is the one now speaking and preaching gospel everywhere, because those who are supposed to preach it have failed God. That's why I'm doing this. The Lord said, if they will not serve me, I will raise stones to serve me. We are part of the stones, and we will not stand by and watch them destroy our ancestral heritage. It will not happen, and that's why this judgment has come.
Do you know, Joe, that the NSAS is going to carry on for many, many months and even years. And even some people are predicting that Buhari is going to step down this year.
Watch what is going to happen. I don't want to say too much because I know the role I play with these things. I'm not going to talk, but I just want, you know what I tell everybody? Everybody's been calling me, Joe, what is happening? What is that? Because they expect me to come and break it down. I'm actually coming up with a video to break down, to give them a little bit of this. I can't say too much now. I will only tell them a little bit of what is really happening because so many people are confused about how we started, what is going on, what's happening. I will do a video to explain a little bit. But the normal me would have already done a video a long time to tell people what's going on. But because of the sensitive nature of this, because this is what we've been waiting for all our lives, we can't be too forward about things. I will only say a little. But what I tell people who ask me, where are we headed? What's going on? I just tell them, sit back, relax, and enjoy the freedom ride. This is our freedom ride.
Yes. Nobody takes the glory in this. So anyone who is saying that I started the hashtag, get your hands off of it, because you've got no hands in it.
Yes.
You never saw it coming. You couldn't even predict coronavirus, for instance. You couldn't tell us that coronavirus was going to come. You couldn't tell us that NSARS was going to come. So all these preachers who are telling us stories every day, it's time to hear from a vessel that God is raising. God is showing something to the whole world. As we're speaking right now, the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching an event that will shock you. And I know, let me also say this, many people are discouraged. They don't believe that Nigeria can rise again. The other day, I played a musical on our channel that were talking about the youth. I don't know if it was prophetic, because now when I think about it, I'm like, what led me to put this video about Tim Godfrey? He was performing and he was talking about the youth and, you know, that the elders, you know, should give them a chance. And then they started to sing, you know, they were singing. And then, you know, they were singing the Nigerian anthem. And then suddenly NSARS came up. So I'm like, people, wake up and smell the coffee. There is something that is happening before our very eyes.
Yes.
Every single post that you see on Nation Scoops, it is not of us. There is a force that is backing what we do. And that's why I was able to connect very easily with Joe, because I understand what is driving him. It's not the devil. It's not the enemy. God Almighty is up to something. And I know Nigerians are fed up. They don't believe it. I'm going to read comments later on, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have given up completely. But Joe, if you have something prophetic or anything that is in your heart right now to speak to those people who don't believe that Nigeria can move forward and have a decent government, a decent governance, because many people don't believe that it's happening. Something is happening for real, guys. Yeah. It's happening for real. We're not joking. God Almighty that we serve is setting up Nigeria for something. And if you are not sensitive enough, you will be left behind. You need to be sensitive to the times.
Yeah.
God is setting up Nigeria for something. I have never seen this in my lifetime.
No one has.
It came from nowhere 10 days ago. And SARS, we're going to the streets, we're going to protest police brutality. What does police brutality got to do with Nigeria moving forward? I mean, just try and think for a second. 10 days ago, you were just going about your business. We were talking about Trump, America. So these were the things in the news. And then we're talking about the elections and then coronavirus, you know, all these updates. And then suddenly something happened out of nowhere, and nobody can take the credit, because up to today, there is no leader for NSAS.
No.
We've been set up.
Yeah. So you see, let me, because I feel like, in recapping everything that we've done, let me say this very clearly. Some angels from heaven have been released. And this is what happens when angels are on assignment. They move like a wind. You will never be able to trace. Is it coming from there or here or here or here? You can't trace it. And for people who never thought that there is going to be hope for Nigeria, and funny enough, this is the reason why many of our people in America hate Donald Trump, because they think, oh, he's going to take away our immigration rights. And then because we don't want to go back to that Nigeria, we don't want to have anything to do with back home, or we want to even bring our people. And they think that Trump is going to stop them. Somebody even called me one day and said, Trump has stopped immigration. And I said, it's a lie. People are still traveling from Nigeria to America. There's a particular immigration that was stopped. And it's because of the Nigerian government lack of cooperation in terms of terrorism stuff. It's written out there. People just don't read stuff. Every single thing they say, boom, they just take it out like this and run with it. So I want everybody to know that there is hope. If Trump will help us to have a better home, we would not be needing to go to anywhere. All of us, I remember when Jonathan was in power and Nigerian economy was bouncing back, things were happening. I saw how so many people were rushing back to Nigeria. I went home myself. Everybody was going to Nigeria. People were even picking up employment from America. They would pick up employment in Nigeria. Money was everywhere. If we have a good place, why would we be traveling to go and queue at the embassy to get visa to travel to anybody's country? We want to be able to rule our own destiny with the God of heaven on our side. And let me tell you this, I prayed for this for so many years. I saw this coming. I spoke about it. And many people, not the SARS protest, but I saw the redemption of our people. And I've hit my chest like this more than 10 times in my videos. And I said it clearly that the freedom of my people must happen in my own lifetime. The videos are out there for anybody to see. I said it, and I'm telling you, in case you're a skeptic, you don't believe it, watch what is happening now. I promised I'm not going to say too much about this protest. We are only going to take it one day at a time. And as it's unfolding, I want you to watch the freedom of the indigenous peoples happen before your eyes. Nothing can roll it back. No one started it. No one can stop it. The God who started it will never let it end until the aim is accomplished. End SARS, end police brutality is nonsense. It's just an entry point. It's like a door that you open to get into the real place. Where we are headed, all of us will get to see it when we get there.
Wow, this is amazing. Joy, before we go, you're doing something for NSAL. So I just saw a poster that you posted a few hours ago today. Are you going out tomorrow to protest? So can you talk to us about that program?
Well, I don't make public my movement. I don't talk about whether I will go anywhere or not, based on the information, on the instruction I have from my security details. Funny enough, I have all these interviews, but I never talk about me most of the time, on how I move around and how I travel. Every time I travel, every movement I make, it's always choreographed properly by security. They tell me when to go, when to move, where to go, what to say, what not to say. And as God is protecting us, we have to also put stuff in place to protect ourselves. This is the funny life of Joseph Okechukwu that many people don't know. I don't talk about that in the open, but it takes a lot for me to move around. So I normally don't give details of whether, even though I said in my video, I'm going to join my brothers very soon to the protest. Of course, I have been told, my people already reached out to me and said, don't try it, wait, don't go anywhere until the day we say move, and we tell you what to move, and then you can move that time. This is the life we have to live. I've chosen this life because I want my people to be free. I mean, even if NSAS didn't come, I was still going to continue to live this life and continue to expose the lies of the devil on our people. So I wouldn't be able to say much, but one thing I can tell you is that I am heavily supportive of what is happening, and we're doing so many things behind the scenes, and we're going to continue to do that until we get to the final destination.
Thank you very much for tonight. It's been a delight. I was able to hear your heart. The people on Nation Scoops tonight were able to understand the passion, the outcry, where this zeal is coming from. And for those who've been with us tonight, thank you so much. Share this broadcast. Let everybody know what is happening right now. And I'm pretty sure Joe's going to come back one day again to give us some more updates as he's led by the Spirit of God. I believe definitely that there is a calling on your life. God is calling you for a higher purpose. And you may not even understand what's happening to you, like from Nollywood to this today, speaking with so much passion. When I look at your colleagues in the industry, I can't see anyone doing what you're doing. You've been so consistent throughout the years. You've been giving us updates, which were accurate. I have been watching you, as I said, for the past 2 years. And I was like, okay, where do we go from here? This is new. This is different. This is like, there's like a force. I want to know what is that force. And now I understand. I understand how you move. I understand why you say what you had to say today. And for those who had doubts about the US election and Africans for Trump, Joe explained it tonight. If you are based in the continent, you are in America, you are in Europe, and you know people who are based, who are American citizens, and you know that your people back home are suffering, whether it be Nigeria, Liberia, Cameroon, whatever country you're from in Africa, let your people know in America that Trump means well for the continent. Mainstream media won't tell you what Joe said to you tonight. If you still have doubts, go and research. Go and check, fact check every single statement that Joe made tonight and make up your mind. Decide for the future of your country because God is setting us up for something greater. Thank you everyone for watching a conversation with Joseph Okechukwu. Joseph, thank you for being on this program tonight and we hope to see you again. Bye for now.
Bye. God bless you. Take care.